Right, here's where I might be the arsehole.
You don't think that you're the drama yet, babe? Premeditated murder of a baby shower.
Yes.
Whoa. So it's probably up there as one of the most dramatic posts we've explored on this podcast.
I see you coming out, starting to sing happy birthday before you finish the first word. That cake is in your face.
This takes petty to a new level.
Buy a burner phone and just leave it in the chair. Papa.
You're through to 1-800-DRAMA.
The show where you share your biggest dilemmas.
And we help you navigate them.
I'm Shaaba.
And I'm Jamie.
Come join us as we help people figure out if they are the drama.
Because sometimes you just need an outside perspective.
And we can all expand our own mindsets along the way.
Wait, am I the drama?
Red flag, green flag, Shaaba.
Hit me.
And this is from a fellow Peachy.
Thank you, fellow
What
Peach.
is my life, 8100.
Great name.
And they have sent in calling instead of texting.
Ooh, I like this one. What do you think?
Beige.
I think we have gotten too used to a world where we don't interact with humans enough. So I think it's a good thing that we call and do voice notes. But my God, some people need to learn to get to a voice note quicker.
I'm looking at you.
I don't think I babble too much.
You're not the worst.
It's just when you get caught in those voice note back to fronts and you're like, hang on, I'm having to remember, and I'm like taking notes of like the 5 things that I need to respond to.
Sure.
And I'm like, I should just call you. We should just have a chat at this point.
I don't mind a voice note back and forth where it's several minutes apart and you're just sending like little 30-second things or whatever. But I do not want a 45-minute monologue from you.
Or a phone call when a text would have sufficed because it's just a little question.
Yeah.
Like a phone call is nice every so often, but when it's every single time, you're just wasting my time now.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Do you know when else I really appreciate a phone call? I'm going to sound so Karen when I say this. Customer service. The amount of times that I'm on the
live
phone
chat me, baby.
we're very different in that way, to chatbots, and I'm like, speak to advisor, and they're like, I don't know that date. Please try again. It's so annoying. I just think we get shit done better with people.
Let's green flag it then.
Yeah, I think it's a
most
green
part.
flag. But you know, nuance and context is very important.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's the drama? How's your January going? Happy New Year.
God, what's the drama?
Oh God, there's actually been a lot of personal drama. I'm
so
not
much
gonna lie.
stuff has happened for the first week.
There's been like a roller coaster of things happening. I'm like, how is it still January? I've also got a bit of a cold, so if I sound like I've been smoking a few, that's why.
Yeah, you also smell like medicine.
It's because I've been taking Strepsils, and Jamie's like, if you clack that with your teeth one more time.
Oh, I was saying for the podcast, I don't think people are going to appreciate the ASMR of Strepsil on teeth.
I don't know. Do you like Strepsil ASMR? Let me know. We could do a whole dedicated video on this channel.
You could.
But for now, are we ready to go fishing for assholes?
Drama.
Let's go. Ooh, drama. So a bunch of peaches have requested
Fuzzy
little peaches of ours have requested an episode where we utilise just the forum. And so I thought today we do a bunch of cross posts, and in the future we should do a bunch of only peach submissions. But every submission today is one that's been cross posted on r/1-800-DRAMA. So if you, my love, have a submission, either one of your own that you want to submit via the subreddit, go for it.
You know where to do it.
Yeah, or one that you would like to see us chat on the podcast and on the posting of the crosses.
She's ill, everybody. She's not well. We must forgive.
Unwell. And thank you to the peaches who cross-posted these ones. We appreciate your time.
Am I the drama, Shaaba?
Always.
For not wanting to educate a kid about my wheelchair.
Yeah. I feel like this one does what it says on the tin. I've got my badger ready. Do you know what I mean? Unless there's going to be some massive plot twist.
Really?
Do you
I'm
not?
just curious. I think so. Yeah, unless there's a plot twist.
What
What are you doing?
I was trying to be like a cowboy.
Well, the final wing was very important. Otherwise, it just sounded like you were going.
Anyway, read the post.
You read the post.
Hey everyone, says
Bonjour.
OP. I'm a 39-year-old woman and I temporarily have to use a wheelchair for longer distances due to a currently undiagnosed issue with my leg. We've been rewatching Stranger Things, and legs to me are just like the big spider thing. So I'm now just imagining a woman with those giant spider legs. My PT advised me to use one, and my husband rented a nice small wheelchair for me. I'm able to roll myself, good workout, and I did some training and maneuvers in our local shopping centre. That's so cute.
Love it.
I love that you've turned like your local Walmart, Tesco, whatever it might be, into a little like Mario Kart racetrack. That's amazing.
I like how you included all options for both Americans and Brits.
We
Walmart
are
or Tesco.
ambidextrous here on the Shaaba channel. I will also say a massive shout out to the biceps on the kings, queens, and other non-binary royalty who use wheelchairs.
Monarchs.
Because that shit is not easy.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And the accessible ramps are typically way too steep, right?
Yeah. I did this little task. I think you actually helped me. We both, when we were like 16 and really into photography and videography, went around with my dad, who's a wheelchair user, and we filmed his journey from his house in London, taking various forms of public transport all the way
Yeah.
to the Greenwich Museum. And it really blew my mind just how inaccessible London at least was.
Yeah, well, it took us like 3 times the length, didn't
Yeah,
it?
and like the amount of times that, I mean, he's got biceps, but the gradients of those ramps are not okay.
I would agree.
Do you know who else has really strong biceps? It's a
Me.
big digression. My mum. And I also wanted to shout out parents who hold babies, because that is a workout too.
Your mum is quite strong.
She is. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, sure, I'll arm wrestle you. Bad move.
I'm like, how did you happen?
OP continues. I visited a small zoo last week with my
Aw.
husband. My husband was getting coffee and I was waiting outside the restaurant. And a kid, age 7 maybe, I don't know, I'm not good with ages. Do you know, I feel you, babe.
14, 3, 7,
30-ish.
9, don't know.
And his dad got curious about my wheelchair. I understand that kids get curious and want to ask questions, but I barely understand why I'm in a wheelchair currently. I was really not in the mood to explain my issues or to be educational about it. So I just mentioned that sometimes someone's leg doesn't work. Cue more questions. And I said that I didn't want to answer more questions because I was tired. So far, this sounds so chill.
Obviously, yes. Yeah, you didn't even need to say anything at all because it's not your place to be the educator on wheelchair usage.
The kid's dad wasn't pleased with that response and mentioned...
Throw a milkshake over him.
Stick him in the zoo and mentioned that it was a good lesson for the kid. Now, I basically wanted to tell him that I'm not a zoo attraction, but there was a kid and I didn't want to make a drama. Luckily, my husband showed up with coffee and rolled me away. So am I the drama for not wanting to educate a kid about my wheelchair?
Oh my god, absolutely not.
No.
That dad sounds like a grade A poo hole.
I find it so funny when people are like, no, random stranger, I am entitled to your time,
Yeah.
to your energy.
Yeah, it's your job to educate my kid. I'd have been like, dude, tell your own kid
It's your
about
goddamn job
wheelchair and disability
Educate
and
your
all
child.
of this.
Absolutely. I do sometimes question whether I'm being hypocritical about some things. You get this a lot in terms of trans people,
Yeah.
especially because you put yourself out there as a source of information.
Yes.
But it's so annoying when people take it one step further and forget that actually the information provided is on a voluntary basis and you are not entitled to it. We are choosing to share what we wish to share. Some people just don't seem to understand.
Yeah, it's something that is entirely within the person who could educate somebody else on a circumstance or situation. It's entirely your prerogative whether you want to. Just because
On a case-by-case basis
exactly,
as well.
Just because you use a wheelchair, just because you're LGBT+, just because you're something else that makes you a bit different to general society or whatever, you do not have a burden on your shoulders to educate every Tom, Dick and annoying dad that comes across your path on your specific situation.
I think parents in this situation totally forget that to them it might be a new thing that they're coming across, that their kid is coming across, to the person in the wheelchair, to OP in this situation, or to anyone else who might have something that's normally visually quite different about them, right? They must get asked this question so many times
Oh
a day.
yeah, oh my god.
I cannot imagine how exhausting it must be to be disabled in any kind of physical way
Yeah.
where people are like looking, staring.
Forget the age. Nobody is entitled to your answer. Nobody needs any information about what's going on. And OP even did share a bit of information
Yeah.
about why they're using a wheelchair. And that was more than enough. And do you know what the dad missed? A really good education moment on his kid's
Exactly.
nosiness.
Yeah.
Because kids are curious and they are what we would constitute nosy. It's very natural and it's a great learning moment, not to let them think that they can just go up to anybody and learn anything they want to from them, because what does that create? Entitled adults.
Absolutely.
Rude adults. What we do is we teach the child, clearly this person does not want to speak about this topic. So in this situation, we stop asking questions.
Yeah, that's how we act in a considerate society. I love kids though, and how brazen they are with their questions sometimes, or even just statements. The one thing that comes to my mind is my sister Nadia. We were on a flight once to
Is she
Mauritius.
going to love you for this? Or hate
Probably
you?
not. And it was such a long flight because like going to Mauritius is like
Yeah.
12 hours. Near the beginning of the flight, there was this guy sitting in a chair and he was on the larger side and totally bald. And she went up to him and put her hands on his thighs. I remember it so clearly. And she just went, "You look like Homer Simpson." And she was like running up and down the aisle. And I was like, oh my God, swallow me whole. Because it was so awkward. Oh, you got to love the innocence of kids. But you're
Yeah.
right. There's a time and place to reel it in. And that could have been a really wonderful learning moment from the dad
From
to
the
be
dad.
like, respect
Yeah.
people's boundaries.
Yeah.
You little squish.
You little squish. Yeah. The kid wasn't the drama. OP's not the drama. The dad is the drama.
Agreed. Kid
Yeah.
doesn't know any better. At the age of 7? Yeah. Kid doesn't know any
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been, dad missed the educational opportunity, not OP.
Should we take a look at some comments? I'd be very surprised if people disagree with us on this
I
one.
would be as well. The kid's dad wasn't pleased with that response and mentioned that it was a good lesson for the kid. Then why isn't he teaching his kid? Lots of lessons in this one. For instance, learning how to respect a total stranger's privacy.
Yes.
Learning that just because you think you're entitled to know, you actually aren't.
Yes.
Learning that most times your need to know doesn't trump someone else's need to be left alone.
Love that, especially when they are feeling tired.
Yes, precisely. And especially when it's so obvious that they are not wanting to be forthcoming. They're not wanting to talk about it right now. Not the drama. The dad is an entitled, lazy father who seems happy to delegate his responsibilities to strangers, which makes him the drama here.
Agreed. Couldn't have said it better myself. Not the drama, it is the dad's job to educate the kid, not yours. You gave him a free life lesson to mind his own business. I'm sorry to hear about your leg issues.
Yes.
Not the drama.
Disabled people aren't responsible for satisfying other people's curiosity or educating them. Precisely.
Yeah, I think what happens is like if you start singling somebody out in society because of something that makes them different, because they're from an out group, you treat them as lesser than. It's a form of dehumanizing on like a really, like higher psychological level. That is what is wrong with this system. And you just can't act as if you're above anybody.
I agree.
A few years ago, I would have said either a soft you are the drama or no drama here. But now, after a dozen or so years of having to answer the same stupid questions, usually asked by someone with a smartphone in their hand, I'm done being people's teacher.
Yes, I have fibro. No, that's not its full name. No, it's not contagious. Yes, it sucks. No, I didn't do anything to deserve it. And no, I didn't do it to myself.
That was very alpha coded. I love it. You know
Yes,
how she's
yeah.
like, all right, let's get it over
No,
with.
I didn't eat grass. I'm not seasick.
Yes. Shout as well to one of our besties, Lucy Edwards, who also speaks about how frustrating this can be. Lucy navigates the world as somebody who is blind, and she gets asked so many questions. I look at her TikTok page specifically, and you would not believe the audacity of some of the people.
Yes. Oh my God.
Whew. I'm sorry if this makes me sound like a total diva, but it really makes me think sometimes like, wow, we are so in a bubble compared to like all of society. Does that make sense? Sometimes I'm like, why would anybody think it's okay
Oh, right.
to do that? But you just realize there's so many variances of people out there, and some people really are just that big bald.
Yeah, and there's also so many people that are just very stuck within only seeing and interacting with people who are exactly like them.
Yes. And it often comes from a place as well of not being told, right? Because dads like this haven't said to them, hey babe, maybe you want to consider if you're coming across as a little bit rude here. And if we just had a more considerate society overall, then none of this would happen.
Child, we do not need to ask every single question that comes to our minds.
Yes.
Leave strangers alone.
The zoo attractions are the animals, not the people attending.
Precisely.
And best of luck, OP, with your diagnosis. I know it can be very tricky to not understand, and I manifest the power of a diagnosis for you.
We.
Ready? Let's do it together.
Papa.
All right, this next cross post, thank you, Confused Panda, asks, am I the drama for shutting down my brother's proposal at my baby shower and then sending him a bill?
Oh, my gut is going no.
Shutting down my brother's proposal at my baby... That's a lot of information.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a really dramatic situation.
Yeah.
This is actual drama.
I'm very anti turning somebody else's big event into your big event unless it was pre-planned and everybody is agreeing that it's okay.
I guess it depends on when and how.
Yes,
if you heard that it was
obviously.
going to happen and you were like, babe, I would really appreciate if you didn't do that. You know, I put a lot of effort into this, whatever. But sending them a bill?
Well, I want to see what the bill was for. That's the bit that's making me go, I'm
hooked.
intrigued.
Yes. Okay, let's see.
Okay.
But you're thinking not the drama.
Probably. OP is a 29-year-old woman due in November with their first baby.
Congratulations.
We planned a small mixed baby shower at a local village hall. What's a mixed baby shower? Oh, do they mean like...
Like gender of guests?
Yeah.
Do you know? This is so funny. I didn't realise that baby showers...
Typically women.
Right. This has become news to me recently, and I was like, oh, I just didn't know that that was the case.
It's because we are codependent and we also have all the same friends.
Yes.
So if you were to have
my
a
God,
baby
yes.
shower, you would just be kicking me out of a situation where it's all my buddies as well. And I'm like, oh.
They'd be like, why is Jamie not here?
I know, and then it would feel weird to not share that moment with a lot of our friends who are guys, because a lot of our friends are guys.
The exact same thing happened with our sten or hag or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. People normally do like a hen do and a stag do, the man and the woman respectively. And we were just like, I don't really want to do it without you there. And we would be inviting the exact exact same
Yeah.
people, and because we enjoy the same things, we'd probably be doing similar things anyway,
Yeah.
so it just made no sense to double up.
Definitely.
But yeah, this really was news to me.
Yeah, for cis-het couples with very split gendered friendship groups, I get it. It's just not my vibe.
No, we planned a small mixed baby shower at local village hall.
Some nibbles, silly games, a couple of speeches.
Oh my god, when I'm hearing silly games, I'm thinking like people are putting Nutella in nappies.
Yeah, that's what I always think of. Me and my husband paid for most of it. My mother-in-law chipped in for desserts. It wasn't anything mad, but it was our little celebration.
I get the nappies, you buy the Nutella.
Hey, only if I'm invited. A week before the shower, my brother, 26-year-old man, texted asking if he could propose to his girlfriend during the party because the whole family will be there. I told him no. Oh dear.
Do you know what? I get it. Do you not get it?
I don't. Dude, plan your own event. He's being lazy.
That's what I'm saying. I get why she said no.
Oh, right, okay.
I
good.
get it.
Yeah,
Because like
I'd have
she's
said
planned
no.
this whole thing. It's cost, it's an effort,
Yeah.
and you don't want someone else stealing your thunder for the reason that you're there.
I just saw a cat paw go wee round the door. Very cute.
Prawn Star Martini.
That's a horrible sound. I'll stop it. Well, I also think, what about the other way around? What
What do
if
you
the
mean?
brother had planned the proposal and OP was like, hey, can I throw my baby shower because everyone's going to be there?
Right, exactly that. It wouldn't be fair to like hijack somebody else's event. I don't know if I'm right in thinking this, but it was just my gut reaction, so I wanted to explain it to you. I'm also personally of the vibe that you don't need a massive crowd.
Right, for a proposal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like all of your family and friends for somebody else's baby shower.
Yeah.
And it's so fine if people like doing it publicly. I know like flash mobs were a really
Yeah,
big
yeah,
thing
yeah.
and probably are to some people. Restaurants are another like really popular one, right? I find it bizarre that you would do this when all of the brother's family would be there, but not any of the person he's proposing to's family.
Yeah, and also all of the sister and the sister's husband's friends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like-
It feels like it's more because it's a crowd thing. It's a thing for public as opposed to meaningful
It's
people.
lazy. It's just lazy.
Like,
He's
oh,
just-
everyone's going to be here.
He's just gone, oh yeah, most of my family at this thing, let me do it there.
I also find it funny because normally, like, in that sort of situation, I don't know, if I was the person being proposed to in this situation, you go to these events for the other baby shower and that's when you're like, oh, look what happened.
Yeah.
Not, this is what is happening.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
I'd be upset if you hijacked somebody else's event. to
I would
propose
feel
to me.
awkward. I would
Yeah,
feel
yeah, yeah.
embarrassed because I'm like, oh,
I'd
it
be
wasn't
like,
really
this
the
is not
time and
my
place.
thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'd be interested to know though if Peaches agree or disagree. Comment below and let us know. Are you a public proposal lover or are you more of an intimate, less of a spectacle proposal lover? I was going
Yeah.
to say lover. You can answer that too if you want.
OP said, I said I'd be thrilled to help plan something special literally any other day, but I really wanted to keep the shower about, you know, the baby. He kicked off a bit and got my mum involved, who said it would be so lovely and 2 birds, 1 stone. I said no again and thought that was the end of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
This is totally fair. You
Yeah,
even
at this
offered to
point-
help him do it another day.
You're right. I'm seeing the wee, wee, wee,
On the day, during the toasts, my mum calls my brother up to say a few words.
Oh,
for God's
no.
sake.
Oh no.
He starts chatting about love and family, and I see him pat his pocket. He turns to his girlfriend and starts to go down on one knee.
It's happening.
I stood up, walked over, took the mic, not yanking it, honest, and said, hey, we love you guys, but we're not doing this today. Let's please keep today focused on the baby. We'll help you celebrate properly soon, I promise.
I take it back. I take it back. No, you don't do that, OP. I get it. 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 But you just don't do that. You ruined the moment. You can't. You no.
It's the way she said, we'll celebrate you properly soon. You don't even know if she's going to say yes. She's not had a chance.
We're not doing this today.
Yeah.
No. You can't. No. I'm actually speechless. To be a fly on the wall in that room. Imagine what people's faces.
Oh my God. No.
I would be mortified if I was
This is
any
the-
guest.
This is the kind of thing that I would want to do.
I would be raging if I was the person being proposed to.
Yeah.
Imagine that being how you find out that your partner's proposing to you.
I would first and foremost, when I heard the story, be most mad at my partner because So I'd be like, she said no. Fine.
No,
She
I
didn't
actually
handle
wouldn't.
the situation
I
right.
wouldn't, because like, oh.
No, she said no. Part of me, the vindictive part of me, is like, around and find out, dude. She said no.
Play stupid
twice.
games, win stupid prizes.
She said no twice.
She did.
She set her boundary,
Yeah.
and you ignored it.
Yeah.
If I'm honest,
I do hear you.
You deserve it, but your partner didn't. But it's your fault for putting your partner in that situation.
You talk about the brother here.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
At the same time, I do think that there are moments where the way that somebody reacts to something makes them the bigger drama. And this is absolutely one of those moments.
Yeah.
I hear you. I would be pissed. But if someone is starting to do it, you can't do anything.
Do you know where my head is?
You can't stop it.
Do you know what I would think
Yeah.
if I were OP? I'd be like, okay, why do I not want my brother to propose at my baby shower? This is about the baby shower. This is my event, and I don't want it to become about his proposal. By
Now-
doing this, OP has solidified that the baby shower is going to be.
It's not about the proposal, it's about the scandal of
yeah.
you being a horrible sister, ruining the proposal of this lovely couple. That's what it's going to turn into.
Yeah.
And even though you don't deserve it, because that is what was said before, what was the right thing to do in that situation, though? We use a lot of brain tools in this podcast, right? I use a lot of them in life. I search around, and the one thing that's coming up in my mind is the whole, when you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, be like water.
Yeah.
I think in that situation, what you needed to do was just go with the flow.
I feel like you needed to let it happen and then pull him aside afterwards to explain.
Really
that
pissed
that
off at
was
you that
so
you did that.
rude. And the thing is, that's a situation where you'd have people on your side because you've already.
But the damage has also been done, and what you said you wanted and the boundaries that you put in place have not been respected.
Oh,
is there
yeah.
a world in which, it's a great question, is there a world in which you can respect your own boundaries without hurting the other people and your reputation in the process?
Well, OP did try. Look, I think I'm not as mad at OP as you are. I just feel like you accidentally achieved what you didn't want to happen. Your baby shower is now always going to be about the proposal, but it's going to be about the failed awkward proposal because you took the microphone.
I don't think I'm mad at OP.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just I feel the biggest level of cringe
Yeah.
for her, because that is not a good look.
You shouldn't have had to have done that though.
No, it was a horrible position that you were put in.
Yeah.
But I do think you made the wrong decision.
In a split second.
Yeah. Oh, it's just the words. We're not doing this today. We're not doing this today. Like,
I'm just shook that the brother had the audacity to still try.
not
though.
just the brother, the mum instigated
yeah.
this. She was like, come on, baby son, come say a few words.
Right, let's carry on because this is not over yet. The room went dead quiet. His girlfriend looked mortified and legged it to the loos. To cry, probably.
Yeah.
My brother got angry, said I'd embarrassed him and left. The rest of the shower was awkward.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
I feel bad. I feel bad for you. I feel bad for the person being proposed to.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad for your guests. And I feel bad for your baby, because all of this, you're right, has just like, this is going to be the talk of the town for years to come. Your baby shower will not get away from the stench that is this reputation.
Yeah. And instead of people looking back on it and going, oh, it was really unfair of OP's brother to do that at her baby shower, they're going to look back and go, oof, OP went off at her baby shower.
Wait, sorry, I've just remembered the title. She bills him.
Yeah, let's wait.
No.
Wait.
Oh, God.
So she said the rest of the shower was awkward. Afterwards, a few family members said I did the right thing and that proposals at other people's dues are tacky. I agree that they are tacky.
Agreed, but stopping a proposal, is that not tacky also, friend?
Well, others said I should have just let it happen and not caused a scene. That night, my family group chat blew up,
Yeah.
of course. My mum said I was controlling.
No, she is. A big red flag right there.
Yeah.
Massive multi-brownie badge for your mum.
Mama red flag.
Who is the biggest drama.
She is covered in ketchup, and that she'd cleared a surprise moment with the venue, as if that's the point. Who gives a shit about the venue? Shouldn't have any say over that.
If you decided to hire a room to pull your pants down and moon everyone, the venue wouldn't give a shit. Like, who said what?
The mum can't use that as some like.
I cleared it with
had
the venue.
permission.
Sandra from HR said it was okay.
Sandra from HR probably thought that OP had said it was okay.
Oh.
Anyway, I said I'd already told them both no, and that consent matters for parties too. My brother said I
Yes.
ruined his big moment, which you did, but he instigated the ruining in the first first place, and that his girlfriend had planned to fly her sister over next month. So this was the only time everyone was together.
So what?
Why did...
His girlfriend had planned to fly her sister over next month.
So why not propose next month when the sister's in town?
I don't understand what this means. I'm still confused as well as to why your guest list with your family and friends was okay for her. That's just weird. That's not making sense to me.
Opie said, I told him we would have all turned up for him whenever he asked. Yeah. Right, here's where I might be the drama.
You don't think that you've been the drama yet, babe? You don't think that interrupting a proposal is being the drama? Are we on different pages with this?
We're on the same page, but you're like right at the top and I'm the footnote. I'm like, I get it. She could have reacted better, but she made a split-second decision led by anger and frustration at something that she had said no to twice.
I hear you. Do you know, I'm not feeling any kind of moral way towards her. I get it. I'm like,
oh,
Queen,
but she caused
you
drama.
do you. I just
get
can't help but feel this huge, like, the cringe inside me is bubbling over. It's just making me...
I think there's like a nugget of me who's actually just like, good for
Go
you.
off, Queen.
Good for you. You didn't want that shit happening. Your brother decided to embarrass himself by doing it in the first place, and you just solidified he looks like an idiot. But you kind of also look like an idiot to some people depending on their opinion.
And that right there, I think, is the importance of seeing the woods from the trees and why nuance and context matter so much when we discuss these things. Absolutely, you can enforce your boundaries. Absolutely, if a boundary is being crossed, you are perfectly within your right to shut that shit down. But in the way that she did it, I do genuinely believe that she has become the drama in this. If we were guests at this baby shower, and you saw that go down, you're really telling me that your thoughts would be, you do you, Queen.
Well, it's because as a guest, you probably don't know the discussion that's happened beforehand.
Right, exactly. So you would be thinking, oh my God,
why couldn't she just let it be?
What were you thinking?
But also,
I get it. But oh Lord. And as you have said, the biggest point about all of this is you didn't want that thunder to be taken, and you have just taken that thunder and you've shat all over it in a different shade. It's the same shit, just different colour.
I think it's actually made it worse. A drama like that will be spoken about a lot more than just a standard proposal.
Sure. But thank you for clarifying, because I just wanted to confirm, like, are we on the same page? It sounds like we are. It's just my cringe level is just...
Yeah, I'm not... I think I'm not like cringing about it.
Yeah.
I'm actually really impressed that she did that. I think that's my overriding emotion right now.
Interesting. Fair.
Okay, so this is where Opie's maybe starting to think she's the drama.
Right, because she hasn't been the drama so far.
The next morning, I sent my brother an itemised request to cover half of the hall hire and the extra drinks package, £220 total, since he tried to, in his words, make it our day too.
No.
Oh.
No. Okay, this is... Okay, hang on. This takes petty to a new level. And I'm here for a petty queen. I see you.
Me, I'm here for a petty queen as well.
But you shut that shit down. You can't have your cake and eat it. You can't take away someone's cake and make them pay for the cake that you didn't let them have. You can send the bill if he did the proposal, but you stopped it. The proposal didn't happen. What the hell are you thinking, sending a bill? I wholeheartedly disagree with what OP has done. And I'm sorry if that makes me sound shit, but you cannot, you don't ruin somebody's proposal and then bill them. No.
But I'm also like, you don't ruin somebody's baby shower.
I know, I get it. And that is the point. That is the question. This is clearly a learning moment.
This is such a grey post.
I love that. I hate that someone is in this position.
Yeah.
But this is exactly why we do this podcast. And actually, with some personal drama in our lives, I'm not going to share the details of it. The biggest question that I've had so far, and my biggest learning moment of 2025 was, I thought when enforcing boundaries, right, you say, nope, not having these shitty people in my life, not going to entertain this in my life. Mm-hmm. Setting that boundary and being like, I did it, was growth. But I have learned that is not the case. That is the first step. And the real sense of growth is how you deal with it when people who you are not in control of come and shake and try to break that fence that is the boundary you have put in place. How do you act when shit hits the fan in that way? And that is exactly what has happened here. We literally had this conversation around Christmas with people and everyone's like, you can't. And I refuse to believe that there is no way to maintain that boundary, that there's no positive outcome. We can therapize everything. And I feel like this is exactly what's happened here.
I still love a petty queen.
Can I just say, though, you are absolutely the drama. I feel like there's an everybody sucks here. I'm giving all the badges. Everybody sucks here because the brother shouldn't have done it and the mum definitely shouldn't have done it. Everybody except for the person being proposed to. You are also the drama.
The baby's not the drama.
Yeah, for interrupting the proposal in that way and then for billing them.
I'd have probably given a small drama for interrupting, but it's a full-on everyone sucks here, and OP is drama as well because of the billing.
And the mum definitely still gets a mouldy brownie badge, in my opinion. Because you don't say that someone else is controlling, because that is cliche. That is textbook manipulation. What's that phrase? Manipulation is when somebody focuses on how you reacted instead of how they treated you in the first place. And that is absolutely what mum is doing to you in that situation. And that is not on.
It should have been like, was it necessary to take the microphone away in that moment? However, understanding that you had already tried to shut this down and someone didn't listen to your boundary, I would have let that slide.
It's the word controlling. If you said you were a shit, I would have agreed. I wouldn't have called the mum a red flag. I do think it was a really shitty move.
Yeah, I'm struggling because I feel bad for the person being proposed to.
Yeah, that's mostly who I'm worried for.
Yeah.
That is how she found out, by you being like, we're not doing this today. That is how she found out that her partner wanted to spend the rest of their lives together.
Yeah, no, that is rough.
There's just some things you don't do. Please continue. I'm sorry.
I know, but my brain just keeps going back to it of like...
But she said no.
Be angry towards your partner, though.
Yeah.
Because he's the one that knew he shouldn't do that.
I would get it. I would get it as the person being proposed to. We need names for her. The proposee.
Yeah, the proposee.
The
Shaaba. Call yourself a feminist.
The proposee definitely should feel anger towards both of them. But in that situation...
And the mother-in-law.
Yeah, but in that situation, I just never, ever, ever would feel okay with someone else shutting that down.
Yeah.
You just need to let it pass.
I'll read the rest.
I know, because we're going around in circles. I'm just so shooketh. Continue.
I said if he wanted to use the party as his proposal venue, he could help pay for it. He hasn't paid, obviously, and now says I'm being petty and tight.
Yeah.
I know sending a bill looks bad,
Yeah.
but I was so hurt that he and my mum just ignored a boundary I'd clearly set. I get it. This has come from a place of hurt, but it doesn't stop you from being the drama.
Yeah.
Since then, his girlfriend messaged me privately to apologise. Oh, the little brownie badge, I think, for girlfriend, because she's handling this nice. And said she had no idea he was planning to do it there. She also said she doesn't want their proposal tied to the memory of my baby shower anyway, which I totally get and was grateful for.
I mean, that could sound a little bit shady.
No, I think it's fair.
You're like, I also just didn't want that tied to your baby shower anyway. I know that's not how it comes across.
No, but it's like, you know...
1,000,000%.
If I proposed at like my dad's 70th birthday,
Yeah.
I would totally get if they were like, we don't want that tied together, you know?
I said the same, I'm pretty sure, when we were like students.
When we started talking about it, you were just like, please do not
Can
pair
we
it
not
with
do it
another
on an event? Because so many people as well, graduation seems to be such a big one. The graduation ceremony even said, guys, I know this is a big deal. If we can leave this just for the graduations, please. And even then, because I used to work graduations, they'd say every single ceremony there'd be at least one person proposing to their partner. And you could see it on the face of the proposee. Sometimes they were like, yay, but often they were like,
awkward.
It's often her, right?
Yeah.
That's her moment. She's going up to celebrate 3 years or more of this really fucking hard work that she has done. And you've like just entirely stole that thunder by being like, no, I'm making this about me, wanting to confess my love for you. No, save it for another day. Make a new date to celebrate. Let her have her graduation. I'm very passionate about this.
Yeah, I can tell. I told her I was very sorry for how awkward it was and would love to help them plan something nice later on.
That is all really sweet. I'm
nice.
so glad
Yeah.
that was like a women building women interaction, because it could have very much
and the
not
fact
been that
that
way.
OP is still offering to help them plan something.
Yes.
So, am I the drama for taking the mic and shutting him down?
Yes.
And am I an extra drama for the invoice?
I feel like you're an undeserved drama for shutting him down, and you're a massive drama for sending the invoice. But I see you, petty queen, and I respect it. I just don't agree with it.
Yeah, I'm willing to hear I handled it badly, but I also feel like if I'd let it happen, the whole shower would have just become about their engagement and the baby would have been forgotten.
Do you not think in this situation...
Your baby is already forgotten.
Baby who? This is just, remember that party? Remember that do?
Yeah.
Where OP awkwardly shut down that engagement?
Yeah.
Oh, yeesh. That is unfortunately what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah. If you were at a party and someone tried this, would you just let it happen or step in politely? What's a better way I could have handled it in the moment? I'm definitely willing to make up. I just don't want to set a precedent that my no doesn't actually mean anything. I totally get that.
Yeah. I am itching. I've never been more excited to like dive deep into a comment section, because that is the question that I want answered to.
Yeah.
I feel like this shows that OP was coming from a good place, and they were just like, look, I just didn't want to be taken for a ride.
I totally agree. And I actually, the last couple paragraphs there, I have so much respect for
OP.
OP's reflection on that.
Yes.
And I also think the brother didn't make a crappy split-second decision. He pre-planned to break a boundary.
Premeditated murder
OP.
of a baby shower.
Yes. OP made a split-second decision of like, okay, I need to decide about whether my baby shower becomes all about this proposal happening, or if I stop it from happening and hopefully it's still just my baby shower. Probably not even having the thought process or the time to think and process the thought of, oh, but if I stop it, it's probably going to cause quite a big drama, and then this is still going to be about it. He's already ruined it. He's already done the problematic thing. I cannot put that back in a jar. It's out. So it's up to me as to whether I just let it ride out and then I explain it to people later and I express my displeasure later, or if I make it worse.
I hear you. For me, I think the important and functional word here is the word politely. I think where I am disagreeing with OP is OP genuinely believes that what they've done is stepped in politely.
Yeah.
But I do not see that as being the case. And of course, we're not there. We don't know the exact speech that the brother gave. But my issue with what she said is that she let on that it was going to be a proposal and that we're not doing that here today.
Yeah.
And my second and bigger issue, the massive elephant, is this bill. That 1,000,000% secures you as being the drama, in my opinion.
Or being a drama. in
Being,
this
yeah,
situation.
a drama, of course, because you're not the only drama. And I understand we didn't hear the brother's speech, but in my mind, I'm just thinking, could there not have been any other way that you derailed that without letting go that it was a proposal?
I was thinking, I wonder, could it not have clicked in OP's mind when the brother was first given the microphone to do a speech from the mum?
Yeah.
Or could it not have entered OP's mind when he's talking about love, patting his pocket? But I also appreciate that maybe it's then, oh my God, no, he's actually doing it. I need to stop this.
But maybe in that moment, what it could have been was like, yes, love and family is so
Yeah.
important. Thank you so much, brother, uncle of this tiny squish that we are here to celebrate. Everybody, lift a nappy.
A Nutella nappy.
A Nutella nappy
Yeah.
on behalf of Le Squish. Thank you, brother. Take a seat. Take a seat. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
maybe
Could you have derailed it in a way that didn't make it clear it was a proposal?
it's the words they are going round and round in my brain. We're not doing this today.
Yeah.
It's giving what we said beforehand with the whole, but I'll just leave it with bless your heart.
Yeah. And I do think, I can see why OP thinks that she was polite about it, because she didn't stand up and go, don't you f***ing dare.
You've
She
ruined
didn't
my
yank it.
baby shower.
Yeah, she didn't shout. She probably felt like the tone was, not today, sweetie. Let's no. Like, it was probably more patronising than rude.
It was the wrong, as you said, last minute, like split decision. I feel like maybe OP did not thrive under pressure in this situation. But what I'm saying is it's that word politely that for me, because she seems so lovely, you're right. She's so reflective. She's so wanting to
There's
understand.
rationality here that you don't often hear.
I'm not on the same page with her there, unfortunately.
I have figured out my badge and my situation.
Go.
I want to give my entire thought process, and I'll be very
Fair,
quick.
because I gave like a tapas of badges. Sorry.
Right. I am doing a everybody sucks, and the mum gets a mouldy brownie because she just sounds horrible. Also, I would say the mum and the brother, the dramas, it is in that like morally uncomfortable, not okay behaviour space. OP is in that you made the wrong
You
decision,
just done
babe.
did up.
You just did the wrong thing in the wrong moment.
But you're
at
clearly
the
a
wrong
good egg.
time.
Yeah.
But morally, I'm on her side.
Yeah, I think because we have a badge for this situation, undeserved drama.
Undeserved drama.
We haven't seen this badge in a very long
You were
time.
put in a really tough situation. The only thing that is maybe more deserving of drama is the billing after, because that's not under pressure.
No.
But even OP admits it's petty. And if you want to be petty, cool, but being petty is dramatic.
Realise that does make you the drama in
Yeah.
this situation, absolutely. And that's fine. You can be the drama.
Not always a bad thing.
But yeah, it's okay to be selfish sometimes. Or sometimes it's not okay and you're going to do it anyway.
I would want to send a bill, but I wouldn't send it.
No, I wouldn't. I absolutely
I'd
wouldn't
want
because you
to.
stopped it.
No, I'd want to out of pettiness, because I'd still feel like they ruined it and stole the thunder. I would still want to, because they still planned to do it, but I wouldn't, because I stopped it.
I would absolutely be having a massive go at them.
Oh, yeah.
I would not be okay with this. And I would be saying, what would you have done in my situation where you put me in that position? It's exactly this. Should I be setting a precedent where when I say no, you absolutely disregard anything that I say? You disrespect me. You disrespect my funds. You disrespect my family.
Yeah.
And my intentions for this event when I clearly told you no multiple occasions.
Yeah. What if I announced the pregnancy at your engagement?
I think that's what I would do. I would be saying, how would you like me to create a consequence for the fact that you did something that would have gotten rid of my boundary? You know, like when you're saying to the kid who's just taken a shit on the bed, what do you think the punishment should be? You know, and they're like, maybe I don't have my PlayStation for a day.
Yeah.
You know, like one of those situations. I just think that was a better way to do it than actually shutting it down in the moment and making yourself look like the baddie.
I am desperate to hear what other people
Yes,
say.
because I actually don't know the answer to that question, and it's such an important question.
Yeah.
Not the drama that is such a tacky thing to do.
It is a tacky thing to do. It is.
You're tacky and I hate you.
You're tacky and I hate you.
But whilst it is tacky, do you not think it's even tackier still that someone has then ruined that?
Oh, I'm way less harsh than you. My whole brain is just like, go off, queen, be
It's
petty.
giving
I
that
love it.
scene in Bridesmaids, you know, when she's like, and I'm going to have the mic, and she's like, no, I'm going to have the mic, and no, I'm going to have the mic, and it's like, bitch, one of you just needs to accept that you are not going to have the last say in this. Just accept that in this moment, you have not won. It is a war. You've lost this battle. Move on for the sake of everybody else.
Not the drama. At least his girlfriend is a decent person. Poor
Yes.
girl dating such a moron.
A
Yes. Oh my god, I
million
feel
percent.
so bad for the girlfriend in
And
this
I
situation.
cannot stress how good Brownie it was that she reached out and was like,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, babe. I didn't mean for this to happen.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that that is her response. And if I was the proposee, I'd like to think that that's how I would also feel after I got over the embarrassment in the moment.
I'd dump him.
I would initially be so angry at OP
Right.
for putting me in that position. And then I'd be like, especially having learned that she said no, then I'd be
Yeah.
like, no, this was your fuck up. You
Yeah.
absolute pillock.
Yeah.
What were you thinking to the brother?
Your whole side of the family was there.
Right.
Where was her side of the family? He's genuinely so selfish.
I don't understand
Yeah.
this point about the sister, like flying
Yeah.
next month. Like, surely that means that you would wait then.
Wait until the next month. Yeah. I've had a thought about the money thing. I had a question.
The bill?
Yeah. Because I'm like, if somebody ruins your party, do they not owe you some money back for that party? Because had the proposal gone ahead, totally fair. Bill him, mate.
Yeah.
But-
If the proposal went ahead, but
So
you shut
fine.
that shit down.
She did, but she had to shut that shit down because he already did the shit.
No, she didn't. I would have just let it
No,
happen. And
but-
then I would have billed. I
Okay.
probably wouldn't have thought to. But then if she let it happen and then she billed, I'd be like, go off, queen, you are not the drama.
But I don't know. My
We're
head is
disagreeing
like,
on that. That's
I
fine.
think so because my head is either way. He's messed it up, and fine. Maybe OP made it more dramatic by stopping it in that moment.
Hmm.
He still set that train of motion to mess it up, and it was either going to get messed up because OP was going to shut it down and it was going to become a big drama, or he was going to mess it up by making a baby shower about his proposal. He's done it either way. OP's reaction actually doesn't stop the fact that he set a train in motion to mess up the baby shower.
I feel conflicted because
That's okay.
there has been an occasion, a drama that I was witness to, similar-ish to this, but like on a much smaller scale.
Right.
At a party, went to a party for this person, and at said party, somebody else was like, hey, this other person's birthday is like in a week's time. Can we also, when you're doing the cake, bring a cake for this guest so that they can both do the cake thing together? And they were like, no, because we are, you're laughing because you know who this is, we are doing the party, we're covering the cost, we've put all the effort into it.
Yeah.
You can't just bring a cake and steal the thunder, share the
Yeah.
thunder. That's a bit weird. And they did it anyway.
Yeah.
In that moment, you would be the bad guy.
Oh, I'd flick the
Unfairly.
cake into their face. Oh, I see you coming out, starting to sing happy birthday. Before you finish the first word, that cake is in your face.
Fairly be the drama, but you would be the drama for stopping it. Once that cake is out, you just gotta let it happen. And the thing is, all the guests, I know. I'm seeing that and I'm like, tacky move. That was a
Yeah.
shit thing to do. The guests know, but sometimes you just gotta let it ride.
That's not the conversation I'm having. I'm feeling calmer about the money.
So
I'm
my
feeling
point
more
was-
on OP's side.
I'm trying to extrapolate this principle to something else, to another scenario, which sounds quite similar, right? In that situation, the cake comes out, then you go, all right, well, you made it about this person too. Pay. Here is the hall fee. Here's half of the catering costs. You stole half of thunder. You pay for it, babe.
Mm-hmm.
But if in the kitchen you saw the cake and you went, no, we're not doing this today, and you put it in a bag.
But then none of the guests see that. That's not what it's about. He kicked a domino that was going to go down one of two paths, and both paths derail the baby shower.
Jamie's metaphor moment.
He did the domino
I have a question. I'm not sure. So I'm
Yeah.
just, stretch testing this principle.
like a mozzarella stick.
Like a mozzarella bowl. Oh,
Sorry, just imagine getting a mozzarella stick and pulling it and then wrapping it around your head. You look really cute.
we're having some weird conversations today. Hear me out. You're at a wedding. Every wedding has a thing that people laugh at that's like, oh my God, can you believe this person did that thing at the wedding?
Right.
Say there is this person who acts like a total tit.
Yeah.
Their boob pops out, they're snogging the best man who doesn't consent, makes a big drama of it.
Right.
Are you going to bill them because they took away from your day? The guests saw it. It's a
Yeah.
drama that took away the thunder from your day and people are talking about about that and not the wedding.
If
It wasn't
they-
premeditated.
Yeah,
Is
if
that
they
the-
showed up premeditated in a wedding dress and brought their fiance and an officiant and started that process, and you went, would you bill them?
See, that's
I'd bill
really
them.
interesting because what you've just said is objectively a massive faux pas. You know not to show up with your own officiant in a wedding dress to someone else's wedding.
You know
Everyone
not
will
to
say this is
propose
not
at
okay.
somebody's baby shower when they said no twice.
Yes, to be fair. I don't know why it feels different. This is a really fascinating conversation though. I'm learning so much. Still, my gut is telling me that it was a wrong thing to do because you didn't let it happen, but I am very open to seeing your point of view.
Sure.
I'm definitely less hot-headed about it.
I definitely think the premeditated thing
Plays a
adds
massive
to-
role.
Because as horrible as this sounds, because I would have been unhappy if this has happened at
No.
our wedding, people get drunk and act like a bit of a tit at weddings all the time. If everybody went around asking for like monetary compensation from the drunk tits at their weddings, then the drunk tits would be broke.
But see, that is kind of premeditated though. People know that they're going to get off their face at weddings. Some
Yeah.
people, they're like, oh, I am going to free bar. Let me at it, babe. Like, it's just a thing that some people do.
It can sometimes add to the ambience. But the thing is, they're not trying to derail what your day is about.
No, but they are being inconsiderate to you.
They are being inconsiderate.
Like, this person's being inconsiderate too. The brother absolutely was going against your wishes. But I don't know, I just feel like it wasn't a vindictive thing to her. In the brother's mind, he was like, I should be able to do this, so I'm doing this nice thing. Like, proposing
that
to
doesn't
someone
matter.
is not whacking someone into a cake. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's in itself not a morally bad thing to do. Some people might agree with it, some people might not agree with it.
It's extremely weird to do it at
I
somebody
would
else's
agree with you,
occasion.
but some people maybe wouldn't care. I don't know. I just think that's maybe the basis in which I'm saying
Okay.
no.
Let's just say that I'm more on the side of go off, Queen, and you're more kind of on the fence, like not really sure about this, but you calm down a bit.
No, I think you're the drama. I absolutely think you're the drama for
I
billing.
still think she's drama because, like, it is adding drama to the situation if we take it in its purest definition.
I respect the balls.
But I don't think you're immoral drama.
No, clearly she's a good egg and she's trying to
Yeah.
just understand, like, what was I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And I think what needs to be said is you done did up for stopping the proposal in the way that you did. You made the wrong split-second decision in the moment.
And you made it a bit
you
late.
made it worse by billing. Maybe there was another way to derail that conversation, but oh my goodness, I'm still cringing. That
Yeah.
cringe is my ultimate feelings.
I am the cringe king. I have no cringe.
You're telling me that if you were there at that baby shower, I know what you'd be like. You'd be like under the table.
Ow.
The brother would be up there and she would have just said not today and you'd be like that would be
I
you.
wouldn't.
And I'd be like, calm down. We will talk about this on the car on the way home.
I'm just not, I don't know, I'm not cringing. I think if somebody had gone at the table, they'd gone, oh my God, she told him not to do this. I'd have been like, oh.
That is mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, mad family politics.
Let's carry on with the comments.
Yeah, I still don't have an answer to that question that she
Maybe
was
it's
asking.
unanswerable.
No, there has to be an answer because it's the
That
exact
doesn't
same
always-
question that I had. Coming off of 2025 is my big learning moment for 2026. I want this to be my big learning thing for 2026. So I need to know when someone is continuing to disrespect your boundaries, how do you reinforce that?
Metaphorical jail. No, it sounds like a joke, but you put a boundary just around them. Piss off.
Maybe the Peaches will be able to help us out, right? This is a really important question. If we're going with this fence metaphor, which we actually drew up, I was doing this
Yeah.
with diagrams on a post-it note as we were talking about this, right, over the Christmas break. If I'm here or we're here in the centre, right, and you're like, no, this is my boundary, this is my line, right? There's a circular fence around you. And outside of that are the people that you have decided, I'm not having you in my life. You are toxic. You do not deserve my presence, my beauty, my
grace.
my grace. F off. And you put them on that side of the fence.
Right.
However, what happens when inside of that fence are your loved ones and they continue to have a relationship with some of the people on the outside of the fence? And through osmosis, I don't know, they bring some of that person's toxicity from afar in because their gate, their boundary is like a Venn diagram like this. There's a bit here, right, that's like overlapping. Now that toxicity is inside your fence. What do? Logic would dictate to maintain your boundary in your fence, you kick that person out of your fence. That's not the kind of thing to do. So that's my question. What do you do? So I feel like in this situation, she set her boundary. The brother is within her good fence and he has now brought that toxicity from where that boundary was set inside. What do you do?
Go off.
Bill him.
Bill him. Not the drama. You set a boundary beforehand and your brother chose to trample all over it, supported by your mother, spoiling your special day. His girlfriend sounds really nice.
Yes.
It's great she understood and supported your point of
Very
view.
this. You are the drama for the bill. You want him to pay for half the party, but you shut him down, so no. Otherwise, you're not. Interesting. There's a
Okay.
lot more support for OP stopping it in the way that she did than I anticipated there being. I'm still feeling predominantly cringe.
I thought there'd be at least one comment of somebody going, "Ooh, you should have just let that train run. I am not necessarily disagreeing with the people. Maybe it's just been softened because she sent a bill afterwards and I'm like, okay, yeah, stopping it doesn't matter anymore. But I don't know, he did it.
Yeah, like everyone so far has kind of said not the drama for the stepping up on it.
Yeah.
Right, for calling it out. Not the drama overall.
The bill was a bit extra short and I can see calling you the drama for that, but you were well within your rights to be upset. Honestly, the fact that he did it after having asked you first and been told no makes it even worse. It would have been merely cringe if he'd sprung it as a surprise, but this is just an open and willful violation of your boundaries.
I agree with this.
And your mum helping with it is just sad.
I agree with this
Since
too.
your brother's girlfriend seems to be pretty reasonable about this, maybe she can talk some sense into him and you can move past this and maybe in some relatively distant future even be able to laugh about it.
I'm sure you will. At the end of the day, it's a baby
Yeah.
shower. Like, clearly this event was important to you and your boundary is important, but I'm so glad that this hasn't caused such a rift in relationships, specifically with the proposee.
Yes.
You know, she's understanding. I'm hoping she'll be able to talk brother round into realising that he was an absolute dickhead for breaking your boundary. Maybe I am just being too people-pleasy over it and being like, you should have let that train run. I do maintain, at the end of the day, you made happen exactly what you didn't want to happen, where you are now the main reason that the thunder was stolen, not the proposal for your Squishes baby shower.
Although, it was going to happen either way. So maybe OP was like,
That's what I'm
I
saying,
get to take
so-
control of this. If it's going to get f***ed up, I'm going to be the one to do it.
Yeah, I see it. I see it more from this point of view.
yeah.
I will let it sit, and I'm certainly less about OP being the drama, but the cringe is still high.
Okay.
You can't tell me that it's not, sir. I know how you'd react in that situation.
But I'm not in it. From my perspective of reading about the post and the situation, no. If I were in it and I didn't know the full story, then yeah, I'd be like, oh my God.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not seeing this as a theoretical piece of paper, or, you know, like a case study. This is somebody's life. This has happened.
I see it as somebody's life, but I know the full picture. So I am a bit like, sure.
Send the mum the other half of the bill. Yes. Bill the mum.
Yeah, Bill the mama.
She was a total bitch. And when OP attends the wedding of the brother, the wedding gift should be forgiving the debt. At least girlfriend has some class.
Yeah.
Go this. Whoa. I feel like that was a very dramatic
That was.
post. That was probably up there as one of the most dramatic posts we've explored on this podcast.
Was also just one of the hardest ones to kind of dissect and know what the right advice would be.
And maybe, therefore, one of the best opportunities to learn. I'm sad that I don't have an answer to my question. And OP doesn't have an answer to her question.
Be
How do you
water.
do it where you are... Well, so being water would mean to not do it. If she was water in that situation, she'd let it go and be like, all right, I told you not to.
No.
Afterwards, I'm going to have a massive
about
go
an
at you.
answer to the question.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll try and be water. Drama. All right, should we take a look at the final cross post from today's Peach?
Yes. Would I be the drama if
Love
I
it.
threatened to turn off my Life 360?
Oh, is Life 360 the thing on a
I
phone
think it's
where
like the Find My Friends thing. I have a really weird
relationship with
feeling
that?
towards that.
Same. I definitely come from like a network where that was used in ways that maybe it shouldn't.
Yeah, and that's why I feel weird about it on your behalf.
We have each other on the Find My thing. I use it all the time. I cannot tell you, because I've got like these little Apple AirTags as well. The amount that I lose my wallet, my keys, my phone, I'm constantly using it to like ping those things.
It is a bit different to ping things than people.
That you've lost. Exactly. I don't use it for you. I've never used it for you, and I feel really weird about using it for you. No, that's a lie. I have used it a couple of times, but I told you.
Yeah, but the only time is when we've told each other. But like, if you were supposed to be home at a certain time and it was like hours later and I couldn't get hold of you, that's the situation I'd use it in. Because I would be like, I'm really worried about where you are and your safety.
Yeah.
That is the only time.
Not for curiosity. Or
just bizarre.
I'm a 19-year-old woman, says OP, and I'm in my first week of college. I've had Life 360 with my parents since I was about 16 for general safety reasons. See, I feel like I would do it with my kids to know where they are, like if they're going away somewhere and they don't come home, that's when I would look.
Yeah.
But assuming, you know, like if they're like, Mum, I've gone to Johnny's, I'll be back at 8, I won't look to see if they're at Johnny's.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
However, they're a bit overbearing and controlling about where I go, even after I turned 18. I found myself being extremely stressed about doing very normal things and being worried about them getting upset. Before I left for college, my mum asked me to leave my Life 360 on, joking about how she wants to know what ditch to get me out of.
Ew.
What a horrible thing to say. If something goes wrong, which I completely understand, but my parents have been obsessively checking my location since I've got here. I feel like that's exactly what we've just said, right? It's fine for if something goes wrong. wrong.
Yeah.
But you don't phrase it that way.
Yeah, like
Ooh.
you are not going to know what your adult child who doesn't live at home, particularly who doesn't live at home, is going to be doing 24/7. If you are not able to get hold of them when you normally would be able to, if it's been a while since you've heard from them, if friends are saying, hey, we've not heard from so-and-so, sure, check. If you're supposed to have a phone call and they missed it, and
Or they said they'd be home at 8 and you're like, oh, what's happened there? And you've tried to call them and they don't pick up.
yeah.
Then check. As a
Yeah.
parent, that's when I would use it.
Yeah, don't just check randomly all the time. That is weird.
They've mentioned in passing places that I've went, literally like stores to buy stuff for school when I didn't tell them that I was going.
That's weird.
That is really weird. They've been pressuring me to go to church and are checking my location frequently to make sure that I am. Oh, Lord. Sorry, I didn't mean the pun.
Oh, this is the traumatizing way to use Life 360.
I don't want to, but I like to keep the peace. Oh, it's a bit uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable, isn't it? I'm wondering, therefore, if I'd be the drama if I told them that if they don't stop stalking me, I'm going to turn off my Live 360. I understand their reasoning behind wanting me to have it, but it's uncomfortable knowing that wherever I am, they're probably looking constantly. I would push back on something that you've said here. I also understand the reasoning behind why they've said they want you to have it, but they're not sticking with that reason.
Yeah.
They're doing a different reason. And if they had been honest with you that they were going to check when you were going to church, things like that, you wouldn't have said yes. You wouldn't have agreed
Yeah.
to it. So I think there's an element of deceit there that makes it particularly icky from the parents.
Do you know what I'd do? I'd be like, Mum, Dad, I'm taking you off my Life 360. I'm going to share it with X family member or X best friend who does not constantly check and berate me for where I go and bring it up in a creepy ass way.
Yeah.
And if anything goes wrong, they will be in touch with you. They can check that I'm safe because I don't trust you to do it anymore.
And you know what? I love the fact that I'm on your Live 360. Find my, whatever it is, this system. Because even though I don't want you to check, I'm so grateful that if I was ever kidnapped, like in the many, many thriller horror movies that we watch, if I'm taken to the upside down, whatever it might be,
Yeah.
I know that I will feel so reassured that you have that information.
Yeah.
And it really makes me quite sad that the parents have put this kid in a position where they're like, okay, if something does go wrong, I won't have that safety blanket because I'm
Yeah.
going to take it off because you are abusing that power.
Yeah.
Then what happens if OP actually is in a ditch somewhere?
Yeah. You've
How
put
shit
your
are you gonna
child
feel?
in more harm's way
Yeah.
because you're being stalkers.
And because you're not being honest, that's weird. You have to accept that you can't make an adult go to church if they don't want to go to church.
Yes, and you can't be going, oh, I saw that you went to Staples 3 times last week and McDonald's.
And even if that is a case, be a normal human being and have a conversation with them, being like, hey, did you go to church? Hey, did this happen? Don't go and just
Yeah.
stalk them online. That's very bizarre behaviour.
Really
it's just
bizarre.
setting up so much distrust and so much toxicity within a family network. Not the drama.
Clearly not the drama. I don't think
Yeah.
you'd be the drama for just switching it off.
Yeah, I could understand why you wouldn't want to though, because that safety aspect is a nice reassurance. But Jamie made a really wonderful alternative suggestion as well. You can get somebody else that
Yeah.
you trust to also be on there. If you have a friend, you can put them on that
Yeah,
too.
aunt, uncle, sibling, somebody
Yeah.
who's not going to obsessively check.
And the other thing that I would mention is with these kinds of services, they don't always have to be like an all or nothing. For me, I often, almost always actually, when we're going to see loved ones, I will send on like WhatsApp my live location
Yeah.
for like up to 8 hours
Yeah.
so that they can see where I am
Yeah.
and where we are on the journey so they can prep and, you know, like know when we're coming, that sort of thing. And so I guess what I'm saying is if you are going out somewhere and you're like, oh, this isn't just my routine trip. Hey, Barbara, this is my location.
I think sadly, I don't know if this is a correct statistic, but I do know a lot of people who would go missing, it is during their routine, especially if they're like kidnapped because they get stalked and people learn their routine. Like a lot of women in particular can get targeted when they're out running, and sometimes that can be from men who have stalked their routine and know where their running routes are.
Jesus. Yeah,
So
I mean, that makes
it's
sense.
like, I think what you said is a very sensible idea, and I had the thought, but I was like, actually, if the worst did happen, which is very unlikely, but it does happen to some people.
If you want that safety, it's nice to have someone you can
Yeah.
trust that's there all the time.
And it is so sad that her own parents are taking that safety blanket away from her.
Right? You have
Mm.
to think as parents and step back and go, oh, we're clearly not doing our job very right if this is how, you know, we're making our little squish feel.
Yeah.
But I think this is quite clear. No
Oh,
drama.
yeah, not the drama. Parents are big drama. My partner and I don't share location. Privacy is not the same as secrecy. That is a
Ooh.
very important line.
I like that.
It is a total choice. It needs to be mutually consensual and it needs to be mutually respected if location is shared. Everyone is allowed a private life, even if that privacy is just to eat a sneaky Big Mac in your car on the way home. Well, we know what this commenter does.
I do also think that it's not wrong for people or couples who act in that way or families who act in that way where they do just check. I know a lot of couples and families who do willy-nilly. It's not inherently wrong. The reason we don't do it is because there's a loaded history there, specifically with these kind of tools.
Yeah, I know of people who will check, like, because they've got a family member who's, like, notoriously late. They'll be like, all right, have they left the house yet? Good, okay. Or no, let me pester them.
Or even, like, I could totally see you want to chat with your bestie, but you're like, hang on, is she working? Maybe she's on shift, and, you know, you see and she's like, oh, she's in Sainsbury's, cool, I'll wait until she's home.
I probably wouldn't do that.
But what I'm saying is I don't see that as unhealthy if some people would act that way.
If there is a mutual agreement that those are the scenarios that you can check within, cool, great. But if somebody said emergencies only,
obviously,
then you don't. Yeah. But if they said, I'm sharing this with you, I have nothing to hide, if I'm late, if you don't know if I'm in the right context to call me, you check. This is how we just communicate quicker, basically. But it's got to be respectful.
Absolutely. Consensual. Not the drama.
Gods, I remember the days when the answer to where is your kid was, hell if I know, she's due back at dinner. I cannot imagine living under the crushing surveillance of Life 360.
I mean, if we're going to go that way, the crushing surveillance of social media, imagine being a child growing up these days. I mean, I feel like there was like a weird time where it felt even more insufferable when everyone was on Facebook constantly being like,
checking
just
in.
Took a shit, you know, like
checking in from the toilet.
Oh, but even now, the pressure to show up and to show up in this highlight reel kind of way must be exhausting.
Yeah, not the drama.
But if they're paying your way right now, it could jeopardize that support. Have you talked to them about how uncomfortable this makes you? Is your dad just as bad as your mum?
Oh, and OP's actually replied saying, I haven't, I'm a bit scared to though. I know they'll just pout and say that I'm shutting them out or something. And yeah, my dad sent me a screenshot of my location this morning while I was at church. I forgot my phone in my car and he was asking why I wasn't going inside. I feel like he's trying to make sure I go to church.
That's ridiculous.
Ew.
Also, like, don't you have a life? Like, please, take up underwater basket weaving. Do something. Do something that means that you're not just constantly staring at this little dot on your phone, trying to control somebody else. This person didn't choose to be born. This person is not for you to marionette around.
Yeah. Oh, that's very poetic.
It bugs me that people, parents in particular, have this sense of entitlement of, I brought you into the world, so I'm going to make sure that you dance in it with the exact steps that I've told you to. Like, who are you?
It should actually be the other way around. You forced me into this world, so you let me be whoever the I want to be, because I'm not you.
Not the drama.
You're an adult. They've become obsessive and will probably freak, but you have to let them. It will get a lot worse if you don't.
1,000,000%. This is the time to set your boundary, because if you don't do it now, they're just going to continue doing this, and it won't just be on Life 360.
Buy a burner phone and just leave it in the church. I live here now.
And Dad's like, you seem to have a real affinity to Pew 17.
I just love God.
There's an info request here. Are you financially dependent on them? I ask because my advice would be given based on the ability for them to threaten you with financial consequence for turning it off. And OP says,
I very much am, unfortunately, for college, basic necessities and food. I don't think they'd cut it all off, but I don't know for sure.
It is obviously hard to bring in that additional dimension, but it goes without saying that if your parents really did love you, then they wouldn't be putting you out on the street. If they don't want to see you in a ditch, they shouldn't be removing resources from you. But we obviously don't live in a perfect world where people don't do that.
Well, because they could definitely have the stance of, okay, well, if we can't track you, then you need to come live back at home. So we're pulling all of the support for college, so you can't be at college, and forcing OP to go live at home
Of course, which would be so terrible.
Yeah.
Which is why I think a conversation of saying, hey, I don't appreciate this. I am my own person. I am an adult now in particular. You need to respect my boundaries. You need to respect my personal space, because ultimately all that's going to do is you're pushing me to deceive you.
Yeah.
And this is not healthy for our relationship, and hope that there are some compromises that you can come to. If not, safety first, always, which is such a horrible thing to have to say. The amount of times that, unfortunately, the right advice in one specific context is to swallow what you really want to do because you're dependent on other people.
Or it's that mix. It's where you say, like, you need to trust me that I'm doing what you want of me and I'm being sensible, but you're being too overbearing right now. It's making it difficult, where you kind of set them up to still think that you're doing things like going to church, but you get them to lay off Life 360. And that feels uncomfortable, but if there's a risk of them pulling financial support, I wonder if there's a middle ground that can be found.
Compromises when nobody's happy.
Yeah, but at least nobody's really unhappy.
Regardless, though, I do hope that seeing these comments, at least, even if that financial dependency means that you can't act in the way that you would want to, has a validating effect for you to know that you are not wrong in this situation for wanting this. And in an ideal world, you should be able to have that.
Yeah.
How your parents are acting is absolutely wrong, and you are not the drama.
No.
This has been an interesting episode.
Yeah.
It's definitely opened my mind, and I love these conversations that really force me to grow.
I also really liked discussing something where we were actually looking at the difference between like morality within being dramatic in a situation where you can be the drama, but it's not necessarily a bad thing and it doesn't make you morally a bad person. And sometimes you can be the drama because you've done something immoral. You've done something actually bad.
And you can do a good thing and still be the drama.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That second post was so interesting.
Yeah.
One thing that I do ask, as I always do, Peaches, watching, listening, however you are consuming this podcast, be kind. We wholly encourage you to share your opinions, but if I see you being rude to us for having an opinion or other Peaches in the comments for having an opinion that differs to your own in an unkind way, I will absolutely be hiding your comment. I've been having to do that quite a bit recently. And I think with both, this is just a little call out. It's important to set boundaries with audiences.
Don't be mean to my wife.
And it's not just
Or me.
You have also been, feeling a certain kind of way on comments, like a level entitlement of community members forgetting that we choose to share the content that we do, that this is our platforms and we will do what we want on them. And if you don't like that, you don't have to be here. If you are in our space, we ask that you respect the rules that we set down, which is being kind. And for you in particular,
Just let me do my own thing, please.
I'm so proud of Jamie's new channel. I think he's working really well on it. I feel like some people are being very gobby and annoying about change. People don't like change, but that's a you problem. Jamie's allowed to put out the content that he wants to. And if you don't like it, bye-bye.
Bye. I'm not good at this.
And on that note, we'll love you and leave you.
Au revoir. If you enjoyed this episode and you're watching over on YouTube, you can give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and it really helps out.
And if you're listening to this on any other podcasting platform, Spotify, Apple, things like that, please do feel free to rate this podcast. Every little bit of engagement really helps baby podcasts like us grow.
It does, so thank you very much.
And we will catch you next time with another episode. Be kind.
Much love.
And have a great day.
Bye.